Robotics and automation are set to play an increasingly important role in our society. These technologies are evolving rapidly thanks to advances in software frameworks, such as ROS, the Robot Operating System. ROS is an open source software framework that allows for easy development and integration of your robotic systems. It allows for quick linking of your different components of your system. For example, a camera linked to an apple detection algorithm coupled to a robotic arm to go and pick the apple. ROS and ROS-supported hardware have gained huge traction in the robotics industry. In 2015, $150 million in venture capital was invested in companies using ROS. So this sounds great, right? Well, unfortunately, there's a steep learning curve involved when learning ROS. There are different methods for learning ROS, which vary both in cost and learning effectiveness. At the lower end, you've got online text-based tutorials and wikis, and at the upper end, you've got multi-day ROS courses, where you come along with a laptop and an instructor goes through the material with you. Rostutorials.com aims to offer products in between by operating an online e-learning environment which will contain instructional videos, quizzes, and practical assignments to be performed in a custom virtual machine image. The Rostutorial.com training material will be created by myself, where I will draw on my experience in creating and teaching these 3-day ROS courses. In my experience, I've seen that beginners struggle to find the correct information at the correct time in their learning process, and a coherent training solution will solve these issues, along with making the learning curve more approachable. So the goal for Rostutorials.com is to create the best possible training material to get users up and running with ROS. We aim to have high quality paid and free content, and that's crucial to our success. We aim to remain competitive by being first to market and by our high teaching quality and learning effectiveness. So the first user group that Rostutorials.com will target are R&D users in industry and in academia, along with teachers in education who may wish to include ROS in their courses. And this is because these users often have a training budget they can spend. Further down the line, we can target industry professionals who need to stay up to date with the latest and greatest in their industry, and maybe even consumers who want to apply ROS in their home robotics projects. So far, Rostutorials.com has a landing page. We've identified the specific course modules we need to create and which order we're going to do that in, and we have identified the software required to set up our e-learning platform. We aim to launch a high-quality MVP in September to a select beta testing group, followed by a more general launch at the annual ROS conference in South Korea in October. A year from now, I see Rostutorials.com as being well known in the ROS community as the go-to provider for high-quality online ROS education. So if we look at the financial side of things, we aim to have a product that allows for worldwide market and automated revenue generation. Let's have a look at some of those revenue generation projections. So it is estimated that the average sale price will be $100, starting with 2 sales a month in September, increasing to 10 sales a month from December onwards. On the cost side of things, our ongoing monthly expenses are budgeted at $260, which will include hosting costs, operating costs, and licensing costs. As far as one-off expenditures are concerned, we've got incorporation costs, of course, and a trip to South Korea, and the licensing costs we need to pay for our WordPress plugins, which are paid 1 year in advance. So you can see that with the revenue of only 3 sales per month, we're already covering our ongoing monthly expenses, and my total investment of $3,800 will be recuperated by April 2017. Now these numbers are possible because Rostutorials.com is a low-cost, low-risk venture idea based around the surging popularity of ROS, which will enable users to create innovative robotic solutions for the future. Thank you.
As you've been investigating this particular area,
yep.
What have you found in a similar competition in line with tutorials online?
So there are tutorials online, they're often text-based. There are also tutorials which are hosted on YouTube. These contain a voiceover, which is the same as I'll be doing. except these don't have the quizzes and the practical exercises component. So it's not a cohesive course, it's just explaining how to do something. So I plan to add value by having a cohesive course.
Well, look, you said a couple of things were interesting. You said surging popularity of ROS.
Yep.
How are you measuring that?
So it's measured by the number of downloads, the number of users on the forums, the number of hardware, the number of hardware products that support ROS. It's the most used open source framework in robotics at the moment.
Okay. And then the next question was around, you said you identified the first couple of modules you were going to build in your tutorial.
Mm-hmm.
How did you come up with those modules? Why did you choose those ones?
Those ones I chose based on the structure that you need to learn ROS, so the more advanced topics come later. So we'll start off with the basics, because they can even be incorporated in these 3-day courses. So for example, users can follow this online course in the basics, and then a tutor can come in and deal with the advanced specifics, which are special to that company.
And you said your first target market was R&D users in research and academia.
Yep.
Did you talk to any of those users?
Yeah, so I taught these courses last year, and I've been talking with the instructors, and they've seen that there's still quite a lot of demand for these sorts of products.
And how did you come up with the $100 average sale?
That was based on a high-quality online course, which would be sort of in the middle of this learning efficiency.
Sounds like a really great opportunity to me. Really interested in the whole robotics and how people are going to be using robots to do stuff. It's great to hear there's language out there that does that and people are learning better. Interested in your company to actually teach people how to do that, but what would you say is the one biggest barrier to your company being a success?
It might be because it doesn't get big enough. I mean, if it stays really small, then I'm not going to be motivated to run new courses, and then nothing's going to happen. So it comes down to my motivation, basically.
Because I noticed in your costs, you're looking at covering the cost of the company money.
Yep.
But you don't have any money in there for yourself, so at what point do you think you'll get a full salary out of the company so that your motivation is maintained?
I'm not planning for a full salary. I just want to keep this on the side next to my studies. So yeah, I haven't budgeted in any salary for myself. That comes once we're making more revenue than costs.